All right, welcome back to another exciting episode of Minetest Gameplay of Sorts. Yes, and I'm back, and I already got problems. I'm on my local computer, and today we're going to cover a couple of mods, and going to look at something really cool. Isn't that right, Mr. Bear? But first, see how this guy keeps glitching? I don't like that. Let's get rid of the weather. Oh, I spelled it wrong right off the bat. It's stop weather. Heavy rain. And just like that, it's magic. Okay. And we're going to look at something really cool. Yeah. Did that live stream with Nathan on the 1st. Very cool. One of the people in the live stream chat room, Greendiamond, I'm going to make some waffles here. Greendiamond he was watching, and this was his mod. Look, I made waffles. Love waffles. And I had made mention that was one of my all-time favorite mods. And then was talking about YouTube with Nathan. And here's a picture frame originally made on Blender. And there's a site called TubeBuddy, not sponsored by them. But they link to your YouTube channel and they give you insights and stuff like that, and they mark milestones. So back in February 2nd, I hit 200 subscribers. So they give you this certificate you can download, and you can put it in a picture frame. And then I hit 350 on September 1st. Very cool. And I had made that one. These are all just I made the frames in Blender and then used GIMP to create that. Well, we were talking about YouTube and how it would take 10 years to reach 1,000 subscribers and get monetized and everything else, let alone hitting 100,000 or 1,000,000 subscribers. So Greendiamond gave me my own YouTube button. Very cool. Yeah. For being awesome. Yes. And look at the detail on that. It's a gold play button with a black base. Really nicely done. So he whipped that together on Blender, and yeah, thank you very much. That's awesome. And it completes my little recording studio with studio foam and all my awards and stuff. If life was only that easy that you could generate your own rewards. Yeah. So we're going to come over here, and on that live stream, very, I don't know what it was, but I kept losing my train of thought in that I didn't have enough coffee or whatever. The live stream went for like 3 hours. So yeah, there's with the lights off and lights on. So we're going to look at, Greendiamond, thank you very, very much. It is greatly appreciated. I enjoyed that immensely. And the Waffles mod too. So go download the Waffles mod. And there's links to everything in the show description on my website as usual. So the mod that we're going to look at real quickly is, there's Greendiamond's waffle mod. A developer by the name of Phoenix Flow 44 reached out and said, do you review maps? And take a look at his map. Unfortunately, I have not had luck running this map and mods. There's Very good directions on what you're supposed to do, and it gives you the texture pack and all the world mods and what you're supposed to put in the mod folder. I keep running into problems, so I'm going to be sharing the debug text file with them. The nice thing is he has 3 mods: more tools, more blocks, and Office Deco. So whenever there's more blocks, I like it. There's no screenshots on the page. I would definitely put a screenshot there, and for the Office Deco one also. However, when you download this mod, and there are a lot of very interesting blocks in this mod, there is a part of the mod that will create a new skybox. So when you download the mod and unzip it, you have to go into the Lua, and I'll show you that in a second. I will show you that in a second. Thank you. And how that works. So let's go into there. Hey, Inuyasha. So we go into, oh man, I had this all set up. And this is, worked in rehearsal. It's going to be one of those days. This is take number 2. So now, unfortunately, this mod is more underscore blocks, not to be confused with the original more blocks. So you go in there, there's going to be 3 Luas: cave space and blocks and object. Now the cave space one is the one that adds functionality for if you go into outer space or if you go into the caves, and it doesn't give any graphics. And if you don't go in there and modify this, your world will look like this. You'll have these funky colors in the sky. Yes. So what I had, there we go. What I had to do is I actually found the original mod that's from. If we go back in there, you can see that the mod is by Emperor Genshin, modified by Macrumine, and it gives a link. Very cool. We go into there, into the link, and it goes to Skybox Extended. Apparently this mod came out in 2015. It does not appear to be updated anymore. The last was June 21st, 16. So yeah. However, this is where that code came from, because that developer listed all this code here that you put in to your own mod or create a mod from. Now, the one thing that is about this mod is that there's no textures. You have to provide your own textures for the sky, for the skybox. Now on there, if we go into skyboxes, and I'll show you where I got these from. These are the ones that I used. And polluted earth, back, down, front, left, right, and up. So these are all kind of situated in a certain way. So in the actual Lua, you see I have here up, down, right, left, front, and back. That's how, this is the original code, and these are the ones that I placed in there. So it got them to face properly. So in here, if you go down far enough, it will actually lead you to the opengameart.org box. Now, this is the one I was trying to remember with when I was talking to Nathan, because I first learned about OpenGameArt from him. Yes. And you can see here, there's a bunch of different, like, panoramic pictures, images that can be used. And there's the actual one that I'm using, Polluted Earth. So I will show how that is how that works. But you have to go in, you have to go into the cave space Lua, and you have to change, you have to add the graphics, and above it, you'll see local space equals, I put 800, and local cave is -40. So when you hit the caves, it actually blacks out the caves instead of having the glitchy. Sometimes you can see it'll show light blue. That cures that. But that's how this works. So now let's go look at it real quickly. So if I hit, we're going to go up. Wow, it's nighttime already. Cool. We're going to go up. We're going above the clouds. How high am I? I am 225, 250, 300. Shouldn't be that long. We're going higher. I should have grabbed a parachute. I should have really grabbed a parachute. Doesn't matter. We're at 670, 97. And I'm going to slow down. 803. Bam. So when you hit 800 on mine, because I hit 800. So now if I go down to 799, there's 799, 800. That is how that works. I don't like that the clouds show through. But then again, they kind of would. But as you go higher and higher, those are going to go away. So I think that's done away with by height. So I'm at 1200 right now, so you can see the clouds. But look at that. Now there is a little problem with this, but it gives you the impression that you're on the edge of space. Very cool. The issue is that you can see on this graphic, you can make out the outline of the box. Now, these graphics are lined up. You could see in this whole portion over here, from this tile, you could barely see the seam in that tile. And then it goes across until you get to that tile. It looks like that either when the person that did these images, that they might have like used some kind of correction or changed the color of that part. So the colors are off a little bit, but the graphics are perfect. So this is how this would look. Another thing, I'm going to create a box here and a box over here. This is done on World Edit. I am going to go in and I'm going to replace nodes. I want to replace air with stone. Boom. So now what I've done is I've created a little platform for myself here. Very nice. Because what will happen is when you get into this realm up here, put these here, and so you could get an idea of how high I'm jumping. Look at how high. When you get into the upper atmosphere, the sky, what'll happen is you can jump higher because gravity is reduced, obviously. So this is kind of made so that, if I could get my train of thought on track here, it's supposed to simulate that you're on the outer edges of space. That's how that works. All right. So other than that, that's really cool. I'm going to jump down. We're free falling. You know what this would have been a perfect thing for is if I grabbed the parachute from the vehicles mod, or the parachute or the wings. Oh, there's a block I threw down. And we're coming down. We're going to land. I have damage turned off, thankfully. Ouch. And we are back down. Now, if you go down into the cave, I don't know if there's a cave around here. Oh, let's check that out. Well, I'm at negative 633. No, that's not right. Negative 40. Ah, you see how... See now, you see that blue glitch? If I drop down, now you don't have that glitch anymore, so I'm under 40. So that works out pretty cool. Yeah. So that's how that works. Now, let me get back over to my hanger over here. So what, that mod is very good. If you don't want, if one does not want to use that mod, you could always go into the Lua, Minetest, mods. Let's go back into more underscore blocks, not to be confused with more blocks. And I would have really changed it. I would have, one of the suggestions was even more blocks, because it complements all the other mods that have blocks in it. So you can see here you have blocks.lua, cavespace.lua, and init.lua. If you go into the init.lua, it calls those three luas. And I'm sure you could comment that out, and it won't call that. So that's how that works. Go back into here, and the more underscore blocks, as you can see here, I'm running different. This is base 1A floor, base 1C. These are more tiles that I've found. These can be used on the wall. Look at how good those look. Different, like you have tiles with broken parts, and then the diamond plate with broken parts, so you don't have that monotony. Because if you had that, how would you have damage identical, you know, on the same ones? This one, it's another tile, looks really, really good. And then over here we have the ribs. I'm definitely going to use these. Everything that you see here, even that light, I put one up in the ceiling. What you have to do as the user of, do I want a mod like this, is that these graphics are realistic looking. There's a high level of realism to them, as you can see the different designs on them, and then you can see the default ones right next to it. The default blocks, that's concrete. And so usually when I do my texture packs, I have a balance of high definition to default. So you just have to make sure that it's to your liking, or to the user's liking. But there's a lot of really, really good blocks here. And you can only use, like, this one looked good with the concrete. However, I might go back in and use this one, or even the darker one. And then you could create walkways and paths. And here are warning stripes, even though they kind of don't line up. It would have been real cool if they lined up. But it's neither here nor there. There's a realistic looking sawhorse. There's a skull. You might want that. You never know. And, oh, the vent. These vents are really cool. So you need a block to set them in on. And they also, you can use the screwdriver to make them flush with the ceiling. But that's cool. How I did my vent, as I jumped over the, these are the Pipeworks grates that you can actually see through. But sometimes that you might not want that. And I had them hidden with these grates here, which made it look like that. which that looked good. That looked good also. Except I didn't want to do that. But yeah. And there's how they look on the other side. There's ventilation grates. Those are from Pipeworks. So there are a lot of whenever you can have different blocks and different tiles, it makes things more interesting. So let's get rid of this vent, this steel block, and type in more underscore. And there's a whole bunch. This is a light block. There's a real cool desk. Let's see, here's floor 2A we didn't look at. Floor 6. I want to check that one out. Oh, a grate. What's that one? Gray panel. I already showed that one. Floor 2F, 2A. Real cool exit signs. As you can see, way over here, I put an exit sign, and it's real nice because it will actually sit and look like an exit sign. It's just kind of hanging there. It would be cool if that would light up, or it had some light emanating from it, and that's real easy to do in the Lua if a person wants to go in there and add that, because an exit sign usually will have a light. So let's grab. Let's see, what is this one? That's my concrete block. Did I already? Oh, very nice. That's a nice looking block. I need some more light, please. That's a very nice looking tile. That's 2F. We have some grates. That's a wing from a plane. And there's a symbol. Oh, that's nice. You can create some real unique patterns with that. Floored, is this one? Oh, a different color. I will definitely use those. These are similar to my tiles that I have. There's a solid vent. Look at that real quick. Gray panel we already looked at. Already looked at concrete. There's a no exit. Couple trees. Check that one out real quick. A box. Gotta look at that. We'll look at that tree too. Yeah, this is similar to one I generated and one I got off of Open Game Art. I like that. They're the same, but they're different colors, which means you could create some really cool patterns using these 3 different colors. You can have an outline and an inner part. You could really lay some tiles down. So let's look at, we already looked at that one. That's kind of unique. It gives the impression of, oh, this one, cool. So this one you can actually put stuff into. I like that. So these lights are my favorite as wall lights or as on the ceiling. Very, very nice. So that's more blocks. And like I said, it comes with 2 pages of blocks. There should be something in here for everyone. Oh, the world map. And I'm not even covering all of them. I mean, there is, let's show these off real quick. And then go show the, here's another light, which is real nice. Floor 2, we did that one. The symbol, the grate, solid vent. That's also very nice. All these blocks remind me of like a space station or a futuristic like HAL, you know, Space Odyssey. But there are a couple of ones here that I will definitely be using. That is one of them. Just look at what you can create. Nice walkways. That is so nice. And it looks great. There's also a desk, but I'm going to dump the desk over here where I was using. See if I can. Yeah, that'll work. The desk is okay. However, because of the way that the box is, it looks like that here would be, I don't know, you put a chair. Usually yeah, I get it. So the chairs would sit on the outside of it. There you go. So on the, I'm not a huge fan of the desk only because the desk is round. And this being Minetest, everything is square. So the desk kind of sits out of place. So here is the world map blocks. And I put them in a wall setting. However, if you put them, you put one here and you put the other one next to it, it will create the map on a couple sides, except for if you go to the other side, the map will be like that. But that's not a big deal because I put it in a wall and built a frame around it from the circular saw. It looks like something you would find in a war room, which that's what this is. It's like a room where they can monitor everything going on. And then you'd have a thing with the map on it that maybe some secret squirrel, you know, something's going down somewhere, a little light comes on. Yeah, so that's how that works. So the mod is very good. I would definitely rename it to avoid confusion with the actual More Blocks mod, but there's a lot of really cool textures in here that one would be able to use and get a lot of use of. Here's also a switch. Now you can see the collision box on it. They're not 100%. So if you have a button next to it, like I do down at the end, there's going to be a lot of times when you go to hit the button, but you're going to miss because you're actually hitting that. If I open the button up there, ooh, there's a ninja. So that's kind of an issue, but that's something that can be fixed. And that graphic is 5 high. So as you can see here, when I place it, one's hidden, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I really like the way that looks because it gives, it's industrial looking because it's conduit coming up from a box. So that's nicely done. But you have to be very careful of where you place it because it will show through if it's 1 block away from center. So that's the More Blocks. And again, you're going to have to figure out if you want to use that cave space where it has the upper atmosphere and then the caves to get rid of that mod or not load that mod. Now the second one from this real quickly, Office _ and this mod is good. It has a lot of good things to it. Different boxes, different like office supplies. There's something very strange in there, which I don't understand, but you know, we'll get there. So it gives you these boxes and these office chairs. These office chairs are the same ones from Home Decor, except for this one, this executive office chair, which looks really, really good. You can't place anything on top of the desk, but this coffee cup is not proportioned correctly, and it doesn't sit flat on the surface. It's a good looking cup though. It should be a little, let me get rid of this desk. It should the cup should be more proportionate. Now, usually these blocks are 1 meter. So this is a box of copier paper. It looks great. The graphic on it, everything about it looks great. If that's an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, that's an awful huge sheet of paper because each block is 1 meter or about 3 feet. So that's a huge box of paper. These other boxes look really good. Now in Home Decor, there are cardboard boxes, but they're plain vanilla generic, which are fine, and 2 different sizes. So these boxes, you can see that they're different. They have different labels. There's also a different one of these. I think that's box B, box 0, and box A. The only problem with these boxes, we already looked at that one. Okay, there's a different one that's a generic box with no writing on it, which is fine. And then here's a completely separate box. Very nice looking. So it breaks up the monotony. The problem with it is that if you stack them, you can see how the collision box is above it a little bit instead of right on it. But still, it looks fine. Even with, you can see the little like glitch in there. Not glitch, the little channel on there. But it's very good looking. Now these boxes are meant to be very tall. So this is a lab case large. So you'd kind of put these next to each other. So how I use, you can see my pile of boxes way off in the distance over there from Home Decor. The Home Decor ones you can actually store stuff in, even the small one. But you can see here in my little storage room, I have one of these boxes back here also. So it's another tool. It's another variation to break up the monotony. And anytime you do that, it just adds a little bit more interest. So you can see all these boxes sitting here on the warehouse floor. And that looks fantastic. I really like the way that looks, with the exception of the paper box, because it's just so out of proportion. Then we have a light. It's an interesting color green, but I think the round is forgivable because it's a good looking light. We already looked at the coffee cup. We already looked at the vent, solid vent. There is a clock. We already looked at the chair. The clock is okay. It's very large, but the clock reminds me of a school clock. Anybody in the United States, in the grade schools, they all used to have those type of clocks that were all synchronized. So it's very good looking. Might be a little large, but then again, they were. So we're going to come outside here real quick. The only thing I can't understand about this mod is these next three things. Why is he going into my, don't you dare. Oh, no. That is loud. Yes, go away. I did look at the throwing mod because of possible errors that I had with things sliding. And it's not the throwing mod because I disabled it, went back in, and then through something. And yeah. The tree is very interesting looking. I like that tree. There's two variations of that tree. And it fits. It looks good. So now, if we look at the remaining two items before we go, for whatever reason, this area is just... That drives me crazy. All the NPCs or villagers are just having a field day. And then there was a ninja around. I love when it makes that sound. You know, it doesn't take much to impress me or amuse me. These columns, they're really cool as being pre-made columns. You could do a lot of stuff with them, and you could create some real cool, like the Greek Parthenon. Something I don't like carrying that column and running with it. What are you doing? It just, yeah, doesn't look right. And they're level to the point that if I take white wool and go in the middle here, so they work. That would be important if you're trying to link it up to a roof or something. So they're very good looking, but I don't know why they're in that mod. These should be in the more underscore blocks mod. Look at the detail on that. That is cool. I want to find somewhere to use that actually. So I am definitely keeping these mods. And like I said, there's something about, I'll keep a mod even if there's only one piece on it. But it's nicely done. Yeah. And the boxes, close my door here. Very cool. So I have like a little setup here, and the flooring tiles, there's a lot of variety here of what to do with that. You just have to decide whether or not these are what you want to use in your builds. But definitely, I am definitely going to use a bunch of these in my builds. So that's going to do it. I want to thank Greendiamond for the YouTube play button. That is awesome. Very, yeah, it is just beyond cool. And Phoenix Flow 44. These mods are looking really, really good. I would really move like the spirals over to more underscore blocks, and then look how nice, look how cool this looks. With just even how chaotic this looks right now because of all the different tiles and stuff. Just look how much this area is spruced up. And you know, we just got a shipment in, we just got some office supplies in, stuff like that, new vents. Yeah. So that works. So I would definitely look at these mods, but make sure you go in and you remember about the cave realms, or the cave space, the extended sky block. And I would actually move that from, I would create a separate mod from that. Fork off of the, you already forked off of the extended skybox one, and because you could really do a lot of cool stuff with that mod, especially if you build an outer space and you want to create some real cool stuff. One of the ideas that I had, but I just realized that I didn't do it now, is I was going to put one of the pictures I was going to take out and put in the picture of the God scene from Monty Python's Flying Circus. So if you went up that high, you saw the Monty Python God graphic on there as part of the skybox. So that's going to do it. I might do that as I will definitely do that on the next video. Ooh. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Gloom. Yeah. All right. So thank you for joining me. Give the mod a look. Go from there. So until the next video, thank you for watching. And goodbye.